Welcome back to the channel. Today, well, we got the bus and the bug unloaded. This is gonna be the start of the white bug. Today, I need a win, and that is to get this thing running on its own. Not driving, just running. Oh yeah, like every video, here's the puppies. Here you are, Tyrus. Tyrus. We got Tyrus and Turbo. Yes. So as you saw in the other video, we did end up getting it running, but it wasn't running on its own. We were injecting it with fuel. Fuel tank ended up having a rat's nest in it, and I didn't replace any of the lines, stuff like that. But the win today that I want is to have it run on its own. I'm just going to take off the fuel line, put a fuel canister sitting to the side, and see if the pump works, and see if it goes to the carb, and see if this thing will run on its own. Now let me go get the gas can. We'll get a flathead, and actually flathead, that one, not this one. This one pumps it to the carburetor. It's actually not that crunchy. And then we'll just tap in. It's already been tapped into anyway, so we'll tap it into that, bring it over here, and crank her over and see if she builds fuel pressure. So I got the fuel over there. I'll be setting it right here. Got some fuel line, got a flathead, got a filter. Might as well, it'll kind of help me adapt it, and that should work. Really quick, I'm gonna crank it with the fuel line going into this little container. There's a little bit of fuel in it, and then the out of the fuel pump was actually like a vacuum line. So I really quick just cut that piece down, and now we got a piece that'll go to the carburetor. But I'm gonna put it inside of a cup or something and see if the pump is even working before we start putting it into the carburetor. So I got the bottle hooked up to the outlet. I got the inlet hooked up to the little jug of fuel. I'm gonna hook up the battery and we'll see if it goes through. We'll also be able to see if it goes into the filter. Okay, yeah, see what happens. Oh, see, he did take a brand new turd. I knew it stank over here. There's a big old dookie over here.
Right. No fuel.
It's the next day, and went and got a fuel pump from a shop local in town that does a lot of air-cooled stuff. So I think it was like $40-something. Easy peasy. So let me just take that one out, replace it. When you replace it, put a little bit of grease. Oh, there goes the gasket. Put a little bit of grease on the actual spot where it hits and taps it, and it should be good. All right, so to remove the fuel pump, you're gonna need a flathead. In my case, some brushes, because I'm really quick gonna spray around everything so that when I take it off, dirt doesn't get inside the case. And then a 13. Pretty sure they're 13s. If there's something different, I'll let you know. When redoing the fuel pump, always inspect this little plastic piece. It's supposed to be a lot longer, so the rest of it is actually in the block. So I'll get one of those on order, and I'll really quick just slap it back in and test it and see if everything works, and then replace it later on. Fuel pump is installed. Got my fuel ran back. Let's crank her and see what happens. But let's try it again. So it's pretty much the same thing. Runs with a little bit of fuel put into it and then doesn't. Now, at least the filter has 3/4. Actually, I think the lines were switched up, which is pretty interesting. I wonder if that's why the other one wasn't working. I wonder if they switched the lines up even before we got it. It would make sense. I didn't even think to look for that because, hey, who would hook stuff up backwards? But whatever. I don't think when you hit the throttle, nothing squirts. So really quick, I'm gonna take off the top hat and see if there's any fuel in there. So I did end up removing the carburetor. I think it's clogged. So let me start going through this and I'll see what I find. After taking everything apart, from the accelerator pump to a couple of the jets, that, I think I came up with the conclusion that this little sprayer right here was clogged. Definitely was. Opened it up, now it's spraying. Hopefully it'll run this time. It's back on. Let's see what it does. I did, but it runs now. I think the spark plug wires are messed up because I kind of move them and I keep getting shocked. So I think that's the problem. I think the generator light is on, so I got to figure that out. But it runs. So I was looking at the bug a little bit, after I was working on it and noticed there's no brushes in the generator. That would explain why the generator light is on. So I went and got some new brushes. I've never done this before, but pretty sure they just drop right in. I need to find some screws because the screws are missing as well, but pretty sure I have something that'll work. And then we'll see if the generator light turns off. So I've been messing with this white bug since we got it home. And messing with the carb, messing with timing, checking the plugs, whatever. And I was like, oh, the wires are whatever, they're white. But every time I would touch the distributor, I'd get shocked. And obviously that's not right. So I decided to replace the plug wires for all of $20-something. And check this out. When I took them out, first of all, number 2 snapped off, so whatever, it could have been okay, but either way it snapped off. And then let's see, the long one is 1, Check that out. Of course it won't focus, but there's that one, and then there's another one right there. So it must have been arcing on the block. Check this out. Running so much better. Yeah, it's bad now, but there we go. A little bit of adjustment. So much better. I did acquire the rest of the steering components. So I'm really quick gonna put that in, fill the tires back up, and drive it onto the concrete so that I can start lifting this thing up, checking the brakes, putting the fuel pump or the fuel tank in there correctly, new filters, and hopefully get this thing roadworthy. If you're installing a steering wheel / column into a 1970 Bug, because that took way too long, put the shaft through first. So if it's completely gutted, whatever, put the shaft through first that comes through the front. That goes in, put your wheel straight, connect it. From there, slide on the tube and the seal. Put the seal in first, then put the tube on, okay? Then slide on the actual column piece that holds the ignition and the turn signal with the wiring. That goes a certain way. It's keyed. So make sure you key that correctly or it won't go far enough in to get the steering wheel on. And then you put the clip on. There's a clip inside, put that clip in. Once the clip is on, put the steering wheel on, tighten it all the way down, loosen all the bolts for this piece, slide it as close as humanly possible, or so it doesn't touch, then tighten it up. That is the procedure for putting on a steering column and steering wheel for a 1970 Bug. And before you do all that, make sure the key turns, because I don't have any steering, so I'm gonna have to take it back apart. As you can see, it moved under its own power. It is not in the same spot now. Let me show you. Every time I go to video, it doesn't start. So let's see. One more try. As you can see, it now runs and drives. Next step is to clean up the interior, see what all we should replace and shouldn't replace, whether we should do window seals. I think we're really quick, gonna give the whole body a scuff, repaint it white, even though it was a beautiful baby blue. I wish we could just go down to that, but we'll see. And then finish fuel system, finish brakes, and make sure all the electronics work. And then this one, oh, tires, and then this one will be up for sale.